So it's Halloween, hence the pumpkin. So I guess congratulations. But that's not what we're here for. I actually just received these two. They are two brand new knives from Kansept. And they actually might be the coolest and most unique knives I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to test them out. So let's check them out. So to start off, let's unbox them. First off, the box feels very solid, very sturdy, quite nice. And I'm actually quite surprised how big it is, as the knife should be quite small, but we'll see. So first off, let's open it up. As you can see, this is very cool. It slides off like this. A very cool box. Now, let's take this out and see what it is. As you can see, we have a cleaning cloth, as well as some leaflet with instructions and yeah, so on. Let's put this to the side. Let's keep the cloth. And here is the pouch. The pouch also is quite solid, feels premium, so that's quite nice. Let's open it up, see how big the knife actually is. And here it is. Quite small. As you can see, here it is compared to the pouch, so yeah, it's pretty cool. And here is it in the box. Yeah, quite funny proportions, but yeah, quite nice. Now, let's quickly open up the second one. It should be the same, so the box, again, this box is pretty awesome. Let's see if the knife is more of the same, but again, the cleaning cloth, as well as the instructions and leaflet. Let's put this to the side, and again, the pouch. Let's open this one up, and let's see how this one looks. And as you can see, here is the second one. Yeah, they have pretty cool designs. These are not Halloween edition knives, but they fit it quite nicely. Let's take them out and have a closer look. As you can see, they both have this cool Undead look. This one has a purple one, while this one has a green one. Let's try and deploy them. First the purple. Let's try it again. Yeah, pretty cool. As you can see, it has a black blade. And the green one. Let's try with this one again. Yeah, pretty cool flicker. And as you can see, this one is fully green. Both these are the new Mini Korvid designs from Kansept. And yeah, they're pretty cool. And even though they are so small, as you can see, here's how it looks in my hand. Now granted, I do have fairly large hands, so take the note, but still it feels super solid. The blade locks in place with a line lock and is deployed with a flipper. Now, yeah, you can't get it to click, but need some getting used to it, as it is so small. But even though it's so small, it still has a 3mm thick blade, which is 154 cm. So it's a pretty decent blade steel. So this thing is no joke. Even though this is so small, it's pretty nice. And when it comes to the blade shape, it's actually the same as this one. This is the Tonife Hercules, and they both have cleaver blades, but in slightly different sizes. So yeah, they might have different purposes, but still quite cool. Let's put this one to the side. And let's also remove some of the boxes, so we need some space to see how they actually cut. Are they just an accessory, or are they actual knives? So let's see how they cut. And for that, first off, let's start with the usual paper. Let's start with the green one. First cut, not so good. Second one, pretty good. Let's try on this side. Actually, when you get the hang of it, of the small blade, cuts really nicely. Now let's test it with this one, the purple black one. Is it the same? pretty much the same. It is quite a weird feeling as it's so small, so you need to cut it very precisely, but actually feels really nice. Yeah, pretty cool. So let's test out. Can split this belt. As you can see, it's pretty much the same width as the belt, but let's see. Let's grab it like this. Actually, it can have some strings left off, but it's a very small blade, so let's try it again. Let's try it like this. Needs quite a bit of pressure, but yeah, still a pretty decent cut. Let's try it with the green one. Yeah, even though the size is so small, actually feels quite nice. As you can see, it holds like this, and with the jimping on the spine being pretty aggressive, it's a pretty nice grip. The handle could be a bit longer, but still can get enough pressure to cut this belt. But is it the same with a zip tie, which is a pretty tough task. This is a pretty thick zip tie, actually the thickest one in my local hardware store, so let's see, can this thing handle it? Let's put it like this, and yeah. Oh no, actually it slipped. So let's try it again. And again, yeah, actually split it. But it did slip a couple of times, which is mainly because of the blade shape, and it is so small, so it's hard to control it as good as a larger blade. So yeah, let's try it with the second one. Let's prepare our zip tie, and let's see if this one is the same. Also slipped. Yeah, split it. But does need quite a bit of pressure. But still, just the fact that this small thing can split a zip tie as thick as this one is pretty awesome. So now, after all of the other cuts, let's see, is it still sharp? Feels like it, feels pretty sharp. And now, the second one also feels, yeah, quite sharp, pretty nice. So, I would say, even though it looks quite small, quite, I'd say, gimmicky as a toy, pretty much, it's pretty functional. If you hold it right, if you don't lose it, as it's so small, it's pretty cool. But when it comes to the size, even though they are so small, they actually weigh 39 grams. Which is pretty light, but at the same time, it's enough for you to actually feel it. So it's not featherweight, but yeah, a pretty decent weight. But when it comes to the overall size, they have an overall length of about 96 millimeters and a blade length of 37 millimeters. So they are super compact, but still pretty functional. But now let's see how they fit in your pants. And pretty much the only option, let's close them up, is to put them in the pocket. In this case, the small pocket. And they fall in pretty deeply. So yeah, but as they don't have a pocket clip or any sort of clip, they will probably slide out. But in case you want to keep them more securely, they do have this hole. As you can see, it's hollow at the end. And you can put either a paracord through there or even a keychain loop and carry it as a keychain tool, but I would probably not do that, as it will probably mess up the design on the G10, as if it scratches against your keys all the time, yeah, it will probably mess it up. So yeah, I would want to keep this design, which looks super nice. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty cool knife. I quite like it, and yeah, pretty nice for EDC tasks. I'd say for most EDC tasks it will probably be enough. So for opening boxes or even cutting some paper or doing something else, most of the people use EDC knives mostly for opening boxes and so on. So this would be probably enough for it, I'd say. But there's one more thing we need to, and that is to compare how they chop a pumpkin. So for that, let's put these to the side a bit, and let's put a box here. So we have a lift, and so my table doesn't get messed up as much. But yeah, now let's compare them. First, the Tonife Hercules. Let's see how this one chops, as they both are cleaver knives, which are meant for chopping. So, let's see this one. Pretty nice chop. But now, the green one. Probably won't chop a pumpkin with it, but still cut it. And now, the black and purple one. Pretty much the same. Don't know what did you expect, but they can't cut it. Probably, let's try and cut a full cut. Actually, pretty decent. You can actually carve with it. As you can see, it carves quite nicely, so pretty nice. Now, let's put this mess to the side. And just look at this thing. Quite messy, but yeah, these things are pretty cool. I'll probably carry them quite often. Honestly, the only thing I'm worried about is not losing them, as they are so small, so I will probably add something at the end of them, or maybe even 3D print a sheet for them or something. But other than that, I quite like them. They are pretty cool. As you can see, you can carve a pumpkin with it. So yeah, if you want to pick one up, I'll leave the links in the description. They do have also different designs. These are the new ones with the undead look on them, but they have also simpler ones, as well as some other festive and other designs, so you can check them out. And yeah, if you liked this review, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next one. Bye!